We must replace the present policy of globalism, which have just taken so many jobs out of our communities and so much wealth out of our country, and replace it with a new policy of Americanism.
Donald Trump gave a big economic speech in New York on Thursday, and in particular, he gave the fullest explanation and the most detail yet of his tax cut plan. And in doing that, I think he was trying to do three things. First, in classic Republican fashion, he was saying a large tax cut, in this case $4.4 trillion over 10 years, will produce big economic growth. He essentially promised 4% annual economic growth if his plan were enacted. That's more than double the current rate, but also what Republicans really believe can happen. But secondly, to people on the left, he was also adjusting his economic plan, his tax cut plan, to address a criticism of his original idea, which was a much bigger tax cut, by saying, I'm not going to let it help very rich people like Donald Trump himself quite so much. He's limiting the amount of tax cut people at the top end will get by limiting the deductions they can take on their taxes, $100,000 for an individual, $200,000 for a couple. That has the effect of making it less rich for the rich. And third, to people on the other side, the conservatives who were worried that he was blowing up the deficit with his original plan, he scaled it back and the deficit impact will be less. Having said that, only about half of this tax cut could be paid for with the kind of economic growth that he's promising, so there's still going to be deficit impact. I think you can be sure that Hillary Clinton will harp on that when they get together in presidential debates in a couple of weeks.